Why, hello there, fellow prospectors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus. Episode 7, Forging Steel Tools and Protecting a Drone. Alright, so now that I have the ability to make steel bloom, let's get some steel going. So steel bloom is either coal. So you can make it from ore or ingots, but I'm just going to make it from ore, because that's, like, cheaper. Oh my god, look at how much leather I got. So much. Alright, one moment. Gotta tab out and figure out why my timer ain't working. Oh, what? The time I see on the panel and the time it's showing is, like, different. That's super strange. Stupid technology. Well, whatever. Just can't fix it. Alright. Looks like you guys want me to improve the base. So, build the tech, or tier 3 tech, is going to be my goal. Before I do that, let's call in that suit I earned. So, request equipment. I'm going to make this EnviroSuit. And then, when I go to the request equipment, here it is. I can drop it to myself. Sweet. Throw the suit on. And now it has an auxiliary slot and a water slot. And I can just stick my water bottle in there and automatically hydrate. And then that auxiliary slot, I'm going to put, once I have more currency, because I'm now broke again. But once I have more currency, I'll unlock and make a mass dampener module for another 10% movement speed. Alright. In order to tech up to the machining era, we need iron, epoxy, rope, iron nails, and stone. So I know I just made a whole bunch of steel. Well, we're going to need a lot of iron too. So I'm going to stick the rest of the ore into the furnace and start doing that. So we've got, here's the 40 ingots for the machining table. And then I need 12 nails. Actually, before we clear the queue of that, I have some nails. Yeah, I had almost all the nails I needed already on my anvil. So there's all the nails I need. And then epoxy. Done. And then the last thing is stone. Done. And rope. I need to make some more rope. Let's make 75 more. And that will give us the machining table, which is the tier 3 crafting bench. And that replaces the tier 2 crafting bench, which means I am going to want to move my mortar and pestle, because my mortar and pestle is about to get uninstalled. Because the machining bench does everything the crafting bench does and more. So there's no real point to having the crafting bench. We outlive its usefulness. Where's my arrows going? They were like going into my door or something. I don't even know where they went. Oh, right, my knife broke, and I haven't fixed it. I was like, why can't I butcher you? Invincible wolf. And once all those ropes are done, we'll be able to get the machining table, and then I'll start working on all the other tier 3 stuff. Again, a reminder that in-game, there's like a bonus double XP week or event going on, which is why I'm like leveling up at like god speed. Normally you would not level up this fast. So this is a not... I tried to disable the bonus XP. I looked into it. I tried to like modify the game files, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So, it is what it is. Nice. Got some stringy meat again. I need wood for the fire. So here's the ropes, and there's my machining table. And for now, I'll just put the mortar and pestle here on my herbalism. As long as I remember it's there, it's fine. Alright. Machining bench is done. I'm going to deploy that there. Take everything that was on that table, put it over here instead. I could have delivered my envirosuit back to space, because I don't need 2 envirosuits on me, but whatever. Pull up the old crafting bench and then delete it. There are some missions that you might want to like run around with a crafting bench on you, like missions that have you like repair things or repair your tools or whatever, but in my case I don't care. Alright, so the next thing in the crafting tree is to get the concrete furnace, or the not the concrete furnace, the concrete mixer. So that's what I need next. And I just lost a food bonus. Yeah. Alright, I want to level up my resource tree a little bit more, because I'm trying to get seasoned logsmen, which is really nice. Seasoned logsmen allow me to automatically stuff all my chopped wood into, like, instead of having to pick it up, it just, like, goes into my backpack. It's a really nice one to have. So I'm going to unlock Rockstar, working my way down to increase iron yields to unlock seasoned logsmen. And I got more tech points, but I'm not going to be worried about that right now. The other thing I could do is, which would help with my diet, is to get the kitchen bench would allow me to like make tea and things like that, which doesn't really matter until I have a furnace, so I'm not worried about that. One thing that would be useful immediately would be a butchery bench, but the butchery bench requires refined wood. So if I want refined wood, let's go back to tier 2. Scroll all the way to the right to the carpentry bench and get a carpentry bench going. So it's wood, rope, and copper nails. And I think it's... yeah, I have enough copper nails for it. So it was how many copper nails? 120? So let's make some copper nails for that. And that's going to allow me to make refined wood so that I can build the butchery block. How dare you? This is my backyard. Oh, did I drink bad water again? I think trying to butcher the animal, I like took a sip. Because it's holding F either way, so... oh well, whatever. Long if I get dysentery, it's fine. Alright, there's the nails. So, carpentry table needs more wood and rope. Rope I've got in droves over here. And then I probably... actually, I don't have the wood laying around at the moment, so let's just cut a new tree down. And note, I'm still using a stone axe because I haven't bothered to spend blueprint points for a new axe. Because it's like, I'm not building a lot of wood structures, so it's really not a big deal to use a stone one. And the same is true of my, my scythe. It's still bone tier. You know, my hammer is still wood tier. In fact, I have 2 hammers at the moment. Technically, I have a platinum hammer that I took off that quest. Those abandoned base quests are often loaded full of, like, platinum level stuff. So they're good quests to grind if you're looking for, like, freebies. So the purpose of this butchery block, or the carpentry table, is to make the butchery block. And the butchery block allows me to process meat in a lot wider variety, which is super, super convenient. So, carpentry. Guess I'll put it here. And we'll refine 50 times. I won't need much more than that. Look at all that steel. Getting a steel pickaxe would be kind of nice. So let's upgrade our gear to steel tier. So speaking of the wood, grab that wood. Here's my steel pickaxe. And I'm just going to destroy my old one. Then we also have a steel knife, which requires iron nails. And I'll do that as well. With the refined wood that we've got, the butchery... yeah, so I have everything I need. I just need... I'm not going to bother with the kitchen bench. I just need, copper nails. 2. There we go. And the butchery bench will allow me to keep my XP bonuses more easily. So I'll put this right in front of the window, next to the kitchen bench. So what this thing allows me to do, if I take the regular meat I had, I can turn my regular meat into bacon. Don't ask, it just works. So I'm making bacon out of regular meat now. And I can make raw bacon, soft meat, white meat, stringy meat, gamey meat, fatty T-bone, or giant steaks out of regular meat. Through the power of magic. Alright, so the next thing I want to do in this tree is to get the cement mixer. And that's 1 more iron nail, no problem. And then refined wood, which is being processed right now. And that will allow me to make... let's move 9 iron as well. That will be able to allow me to make concrete, which then allows me to make the concrete furnace. The concrete furnace is what is required for all the tier 3 tech. I'm actually going to stop at making all this raw bacon because I need another meat source. So I'll make 5 bacon and 5 something else. Let's do giant steak. Stop, clear. Giant steaks, please. Oh, no, I had stringy meat in my... Never mind. Stop, make bacon. I forgot I had already cooked stuff. Alright, refined wood, there we go. And concrete mixer, done. Or cement mixer. I'm gonna put that Maybe here? As long as it doesn't violate the whole, it's too close to the outside. Yep, it's sheltered. Cool. So we're going to want to make some concrete mix. So the next thing I want to make in this setup, let me go to the tech tree because it's easier to visualize. So once you enter the tech tree, you immediately have the resources to get machining bench. Right? Because that requires the tech before. And then the cement mixer allows you to make the forge. So the next thing I want to do is to make the forge. Interestingly, the forge does not require concrete to make. But the forge will allow me to start smelting platinum, titanium, stuff like that. And my new steel pick will allow me to actually harvest that stuff. So let's get the forge and the alteration bench. The alteration bench allows you to like magically enchant your tools and gear. And that's also a super powerful tool. So forge time. And for the forge, I need more steel and iron. So let's move all of our iron and steel that I currently have so I get an accurate count in here. So I need some more steel, which means grabbing coal and iron from local mines. And I'll worry about the stone later, because stone is easy to source. Nice. Got my bacon back. And I'm going to move this anvil because it's kind of in the way. And it's about to be obsolete anyway as soon as I get the forge, and furnace. So the two things I want are the forge, which allows me to make like platinum tools and better, and then the furnace. And probably I want the furnace first, actually, now that I think about it. So we should make 20 concrete mix. Concrete mix is tree sap, silica dust, or silica and stone. So I'm taking the sticks that I had and just turning them into tree sap. Actually, I have a lot of tree sap. So let's stick this stack of 100 tree sap in there. So now I just need silica and stone. I'm not, however, going to fight the darkness here. So I'll just sleep. Also noticed, what the hell hurt my bed? While I was like redesigning my base, it must have gotten storm damage or something. I don't know. I also realized that wall does nothing. So, hey, free stone. First, I will search for silica, because like, oh, there's coal right here. That will help my whole making steel. Coal's very common. You end up needing a lot more iron than you do coal, too, because of the ratios and all. Can you all just be boars? I want, like, bacon for free, please. Poison fish. Hey, Turtle. Thank you for joining. Sorry that we didn't have you here earlier, too. How dumb of a deer you gotta be, like, run away from me and then circle back? What, you want more? You masochist? Oof. Where I shot it, too. That was... wrong. So the, if you don't want storm damage, like ever, you can build your entire base out of concrete, which is the toughest building material, and it's essentially stormproof. Concrete resists tier 7 storms, and like, it won't get knocked down, which is, you know, can be nice. As I said before, functionally speaking, my stone structure that I have now will easily last the remaining time of the marathon, fully acknowledging that my timer's broken. So I'm not gonna fret about that. I am overweight, so let's get back home, drop this off in the concrete mixer, and then get some stone for it. Right in the rump. You're limited to 360p? That's weird. Definitely not streaming at 360. Needless to say. Alright, I'm gonna borrow some of the stone that we have in here, so I can make the concrete. And we needed 20, so that's 16 of 20. So pretty close to what we need. Oh, that exotic isn't doing me any favors. Let's open up that inventory space. Alright. Now that that's done, get a little bit more stone for the rest of the concrete, and we'll have the concrete furnace in no time. Now, it's telling me if I had water attached, I'd get refunded partial. I don't have water pumps yet, so that's gonna obviously have to wait until I do. And I know that the forge we want is going to cost a lot more stone, so while I wait for things to, for the concrete to mix, I might as well get more stone for that. Oh, there's silica here? Okay. In my own backyard. Alright, you know what? Wheat, go away. You're like blocking my silica. Now, some of the tier 3 tech doesn't become obsolete when you enter tier 4. Like the water hose, for instance, that I unlocked. If you want to have plumbing in your base, you need to get the water hose, which means there's no avoiding picking up the bio water pump. There is an electric water pump that you get later on. But you're absolutely going to want the biofuel composter. Because there's... Actually, no, that's not true. There is a tier 4 replacement of an electric composter. Here. But I mean, I won't be able to afford that. Maybe this entire stream. But regardless, in order to pick up the water pipe tool, there isn't a tier 4 alternative, so if you want plumbing, you have to get these things first anyway. Okay, now that that's done, concrete in, and here is the concrete furnace, which allows us to smelt more stuff. Which means this guy is no longer needed. Bye-bye, stone furnace. And hello, concrete furnace. I'm going to move the anvil too. Okay. The other piece of the pie was the forge. So the forge needs steel and iron. So let's go grab that from the a mine nearby. I'm just filling up my food, water, air. And making sure to fetch my bacon. Drop off all my extra weight. And the wheat. Okay. My inventory, I'm nice and empty. Got lots of room for stuff. Perfect. Caves. There's the cave here that I haven't fully mined out yet, so let's go back there. And I am only going to be grabbing iron. I am intentionally not grabbing copper or gold. And little spoiler, the reason is I can enchant my picks to get more copper and gold. So I don't want to hit the nodes knowing that I can get more of it later. So it's intentional that I'm leaving it there because I don't need it right now. Cheers. Now, one thing you'll notice is, I am able to get the aluminum, and quite honestly, might as well. I'll get one thing of it just to smelt some up for the base back home. Hey, thank you for the gifted subs! Sorry that the clock isn't moving. The time remaining tool, like, broke on me. Maybe I can... Hold on one second. I might be able to just, like, push time into it or something. I didn't want to spend precious marathon time like tinkering with the tool that is stupid, that like doesn't seem to be working. I just removed time out from it. That's not the correct direction that should be going. There. Now it looks like there's more time on the board. Once that updates, you haven't seen it update yet. Huh. What the heck? What's going on? I'm fighting. It's so stupid. Apparently I don't control the tool according to the frickin'. Yeah, I'm gonna stop fighting it. It keeps resetting no matter what I do. God, I hate this thing. Okay, so here for iron. Let's focus up on iron. So there are enchantments that you can add to your picks to increase the platinum, gold, copper, and titanium yield, but not iron yield or aluminum yield. Those enchantments do not exist. So the things that can be enchanted, I'm leaving to be harvested later. What time are we actually at? I mean, I've never, like, ended early because there wasn't enough engagement, so you're at, like, whatever, 10 hours or something? I don't know. There's a lot of time left, don't you worry. So far, this has all been like resource grind, but it doesn't stay that way forever, because eventually I will have good gear and the desire to make more currency driving me towards dangerous biomes and excursions and questing and operations and stuff, so we are heading in that direction for sure. But you can't race to the finish without a good foundation. Oh, leveling up again. Alright. I need to spend 2 more points. So I'll get more yield from oxites, and that unlocks the dense packing, which I'll get next. And then the solo tree, bounce back for more health regen. Alright, I am a little bit overweight here. That didn't work. Little waste to iron, dropping it in air, but it's not a waste of time. And there's still more left in that cave for me to get later on. I don't have any inventory weight, but I still have bloodlust, so even though I can't harvest these animals... Well, I could probably skin them, but like, I'm not even gonna bother. Because you do get experience for the act of skinning. Oh, there's like a stone in the way, in there. Yeah. I will need to make some new bone arrows, though. I'm down to like 23. So the forge needs 16 more steel. So let's make sure that at least 16 of my iron... 40. No, that works. Actually, I don't want 40. I'm going to do 16. Because then the forge also requires iron, too. So it requires 7 iron ingots, at least. And then the rest of this I'll make into steel. Oh, actually, what does the alteration bench require? That requires iron. Yeah, so the rest I should make into iron ingots. So I can get an alteration bench. Nice. Looking good. What missions are available? Mining and downed drone. While I wait for things to smelt, I'll just do the downed drone. One of the advantages of being frickin' fast as hell with all my movement speed bonuses is, I'll move around like a crackhead. Well, when I'm not, like, forced to swim, because I don't know how to walk. So, there's a down drone. Well, I don't really need to ping it. It's on the map. Somewhere over here. Let's go grab it. Instead of standing around waiting for iron and to smelt, I'll be productive. So once I get the forge allows me to hypothetically make platinum tools. I might want to get... I might spend a point to get platinum picks, but generally I skip platinum tools entirely, because platinum is not that common of a resource to find. Which means it's not readily... There's not a lot of it available to, like, make a whole lot of tools. Whereas titanium is actually, I find... Eventually, you're going to want titanium anyway, so I feel like the grinding for a bunch of platinum tools only for them to become almost immediately obsolete, especially given that I have double XP rate due to the current event, is probably not worth my time. That would be my argument. The little ones do not attack. The juveniles don't attack. Nope. There we go. Got some gamey meat. Gather 100 prime meat. Oh, I see the drone. Pretty easy to spot, given the giant smoke plume. And I have like 12 minutes to spare, 13 minutes to spare. No problem. So I have to guard this area. Sorry for the noise, it's like freaking obnoxious. Guard this area while the drone does its thing. You know, I just realized I don't have a lot of arrows. So I'm gonna be, like, trying to craft arrows in the meantime. So I don't run out of munition. And if you stray too far, you kind of, like, fail. Missed me. No, don't touch that. It's not yours. Stop it. Put it out. Put it out. Nope. This is not as intense as like wave survivals can be, but I had mentioned before that some of these quests have like an unreasonable amount of enemies attack you, and this would be one such. It's just these enemies aren't particularly strong. So I'm like annihilating them pretty quickly, but like there are other quests where the enemies that are attacking you are like not easy to kill, and those are can be pretty sketchy. Stop it. Waves of bears are always a fun time. I find that bears actually 1v1 are really easy to kill. Ow, what the hell, where are you? It's just when you're got more than one bear, that's when it gets sketchy. Level up. And we're 60% done. Ooh, got stringy meat, nice. Stop it! I have feelings, you know. Quit puking on me. I can't even spend my talent point. I mean, I probably could, but I won't. And I've managed to make, like, maybe more arrows than I've used. But if I was smart, I would have made some more arrows ahead of time. Because having to pull the arrows out of every target I shoot is a little weird. I need sticks, so I'm just going to get some bushes. Because I don't see any saplings nearby that I could harvest. But I would say, like, I've probably killed, I don't know, a few dozen animals. Like, that gives you an indicator of how, like, obscene some of the wave survivals get. And this isn't even a bad wave survival event. It's not like I'm thumping or something. There's other things that cause, like, you know, vapor, enzyme vapor harvesting. Like, there's some events that just cause hell, for lack of a better term. What are you, a jaguar? Alright. Well, Mr. Jaguar, get skinned. And stringy meat, nice. Stop it! Oh my god, stop! The event's over, you don't need to keep spawning on me. Alright. Frickin' leave me alone. I'm getting out of here. They just keep spawning even though they shouldn't. The event's done. Rewards. Rope and an Arctic bear hood is probably the best one of the... But they all suck. Rhubarb. Soybeans. A riding saddle. Sure, whatever. Got a bunch of pumpkins. Thanks. Thanks, HQ. So generous of you. Yeah, that was a thumbs up of sarcasm. Riding saddles are cheap to make. They're just like some leather rope. So it was in no way a real benefit to me. You can understand why the animals wanted to break the drone. Yeah, it was, it sounds pretty obnoxious. That's about the quality of my singing. I know you guys were asking me if I could sing for you. It would sound like that. Yeah, that's the extent of my skill. Thank you for tuning in to Icarus, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. But please keep in mind that this series was streamed as a marathon, so feedback cannot be incorporated. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits, and all the live viewers that turned out for the marathon. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow prospectors.